The hours stack like stones upon my chest. I know the shape of every room I failed in. I know the weight of putting down the rest. 4 hours gone and nothing left to show for it. The same wall standing where it stood before. I sit in silence counting what it's cost me, and then I reach back out and find the door. There's a version of this moment that accepts it, that reads the hours lost as hours spent. But I have never learned to call it finished until I understand exactly what they meant. Every attempt, another piece of something. Every failure, one more thing I know. The road is longer than I thought when I began it, but long was never reason not to go. One more time, I know how much this cost. I've counted every hour, I've cataloged every loss. One more time, not because it comes easy, not because the road ahead is clear. One more time, because the only thing worse than trying is knowing I stopped here. I remember when the hours felt like nothing, when the attempts were something I could spend, before the weight of repetition settled, before I understood this road had no clear end. Now every run begins with full accounting. Every failure sits behind my eyes. I carry all of them into the next attempt, and somehow they become the reason why. Not the reason to abandon or to question, not the reason to accept that this is done, but the reason that each step is more considered, and the reason I am more than what I was. Every attempt another layer added, every hour another thing refined. The cost of this is written in the trying, and the trying is the cost of what I'll find. One more time, I know how much this cost. I've counted every hour, I've cataloged every loss. One more time, not because it comes easy, not because the road ahead is clear. One more time, because the only thing worse than trying is knowing I stopped here. There are nights when the hours feel like years, when the distance between start and end stretches out beyond what I can measure, and I wonder if I'll ever round the bend. Not in weakness, not in doubt exactly, just the honest weight of what this takes. The acknowledgement that this is costing something real and deep with every choice I make. But